So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Nice. Hey, what's happening, Doc?
Hey, how are you?
Lady?
You doing well?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No worries. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. I know you've been busy. You've been inking all of the inspiration, all of the encouragement, and even some direction for us. Because when I tell you we need it, we need it.
Listen, the way this world is crazy right now, we need as much encouragement and help and cheering and championing as we can get.
You know, at this point, sometimes I want to say it out loud, but I'd be too afraid for the answers that I might get. But I'm going to ask you because I feel like this space is safe enough. When did we get here? And when I say here, where everything is just so okay to where we're numb, or maybe just sensationalized in a temporary state, nothing is really
Yeah.
concrete. Like we really don't know who's doing what right now.
You know, I think some of it started with social media,
Hmm.
where everybody's an expert, everybody's got an opinion, everybody's on level footing, and everybody can fake the funk on a nasty dunk. They can be anything they want to be, right? You can just declare I am, make up some facts and tell the people, and off we go.
Add you a hashtag and for sure is real. Oh my goodness. In a space of leadership, you have to have a level of transparency where everybody doesn't get that filtered look. There is an in
Right.
between to where you have to say every win was a hard lesson. Because we don't call it a loss, but that win was a hard lesson because you learned something really
Yeah.
bad. And while you're going through that, what keeps you inspired to be able to handle it in a public sense? So people know that the level of perfection, it isn't there, but your persistence keeps you going because you're grounded in something deeper than the trouble.
I think for me, of course, it's God. When I stay in a grateful space, when I recognize what my life could be as opposed to what the reality of what it is,
Mhm.
based on all the things that I've been through, that I'm still clothed in my right mind. I still got the activity of my limbs. I still got people that love me, people that show up for me. I have people like you who will champion me and give me a platform and an opportunity to be the best version of myself. When you really can put all the pieces together, I think then sanity becomes the ground floor that you can operate from. But I think when you get caught up and you start believing the hype and you start believing all the chatter around you, and
Yeah.
as my grandmother would say it this way: when you start smelling yourself,
I hadn't heard that in forever. Do you hear me? Come on.
I probably haven't said it in forever, but that's what it reminds me of, right?
Hey.
When you get too big for your britches, as it were, then I think the pieces start to fall apart. And I think you start pushing people away because people don't like arrogance. They don't like people who are full of themselves. They don't like people who
No.
believe they're superior or better than everybody else. But when you can stay grounded and you can stay humble and you can stay grateful, then I
Right.
think you got something going.
Well, Dr. Dre, you serve on so many different platforms, just being who you are, a beacon of light, a champion of hope. You are also a pastor, a
I
leadership
am.
strategist. So that way you're showing us not that we can do it, but how to do it. And I think sometimes it's the how that looks so different for everybody because now you're giving up a secret with that. There is no secret wand. There is no secret pill. There is
No,
definitely some elbow grease that you have
for
to
sure.
implement.
For
When you
sure. And
get into these different spaces as a pastor, I guess people expect you to have a different gentle tone, but you also come in with a greater level of expectations.
yes, it's
So,
true.
how do you talk to someone that's in between right now, trying to take that leap of faith to get to the next step of wherever it is they're trying to go?
Authenticity, being you the way you were created to be, you created for purpose, on purpose, and not trying to be somebody else or let other people dictate. When you don't know who you are, people will tell you. They will define for you your shortcomings, your limitations, your idiosyncrasies, your failures, and all the stuff. So really being confident and authentic in who you are and not playing Twister. You remember the game Twister when you were growing up?
Yes.
Yellow, red, and sometimes you'd find yourself in awkward positions, and the next letter that was called would make you be standing on your head, but literally more often than not falling down because you
Right.
can't be all of that at one time. And so for me, the authenticity of people and allowing yourself to be the fullness of who you are and showing up and being that allows other people to be authentic themselves. First thing you said is safe space, right? Creating a safe space to where people experience you in a way that makes them feel comfortable being the fullness of who they are.
Right. And that's important, because oftentimes people will remind you who you, who you, either who you aren't or who they don't want to acknowledge you for being, for
It
whatever.
is true.
And when you mention social media, I think the biggest part for me isn't the hashtag that people want to create and live the lives and the best lives, whatever they want to do. It's almost like the willingness that they have to put this stuff
Mhm.
in a space that's open for anybody. Like you voluntarily gave that up. You could have kept that to yourself. But this is what you
You
felt
loaded the
was so
gun.
important to
You
share
put the bullets in the gun for the people to shoot you
and pull the trigger yourself.
and
Because
pulled.
I'm like, when did we get there? Because I'm like, we live in such a shameless society.
Yes.
No one seems to have a level of concern that would say, you know what? I maybe that's hot and I shouldn't touch it.
Well, if you think about it, though, it starts at the top down. The culture, the world we live in, from the government all the way down, nobody is telling the truth, right? Everybody is making it up as they go along. People will literally you look outside and the sky is blue, and somebody will try to convince you that it's a whole different color. That's the world we live in if it fits and benefits them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so we live in a world, everything goes. You can name it to be whatever you want it to be, and we'll have the audacity to convince people with no evidence whatsoever, right, that it is so.
It is written because I said it. I'm like,
Because
whoa.
I said it.
I kid you not. And now you're the author. You have inked the pages of a new book, a new
Yes.
learning experience for us. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Cheerleaders, coaches, comrades, and champions. Building the
Yes,
team
indeed.
that builds you.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to me about that fertile ground.
So I've done a lot of different things. I worked in corporate America with Disney for 20 years, building teams to build theme parks. Tokyo, Disney World, all the things. I was a professor for like 12 years at the university, teaching capstone courses to business students of how to put all the pieces together and really build a real company, not just the academia of a book, but how do we really do this in real life, real time? Pastoring churches and planting churches. We've planted like 7 churches out of our church, completely theirs, helped them build teams. I started thinking to myself, I'm pretty good at building teams. There's some things that I've learned. There's some mistakes that I've made along the way, keeping people in positions too long, trying to be nice, trying to be kind, and they messing up the whole thing because I won't make a decision to move them out the way. And so I started jotting some stuff down. I was asked to do a corporate speech, and these pieces, these pillars, cheerleaders, coaches, comrades, and champions just started to form this infrastructure for me that I realized I had been living for a long time. And books can go places that you can never show up in and help people learn from your mistakes, from the successes that you have. And so I started writing, and lo and behold, it came together, and it seems to be blessing people in this season of life.
You just blessed me when you gave that level of transparency of saying, as a leader, I made a mistake by keeping the wrong people in the wrong
Yes.
position for the wrong amount of time. Like you
Yep.
saw it, you knew better, but something within you wanted to give it more than it deserved, because it's not that you were trying to snatch something from somebody,
Right.
but in
Right.
order for something to live, something else had to die. So for them to live within that space, the ability
Hmm.
to thrive in other areas was dwindling and dying out. And it was on your,
Yes.
and that's a
It,
level of accountability. And for you to
yeah.
write that and teach others through that, I hope that's a lesson we all learn. Because
It's
that
true.
doesn't just go for work. That goes in relationships with whomsoever.
Listen, I probably got some milk right now in my refrigerator that's got an expiration date on it.
Don't make
Not
me
every
check my refrigerator.
not every relationship is supposed to last or move to every level with you. Now, I'm not talking about throwing folks away, because we real good at I don't fool with so and so no more, and tossing people out just because they
No
looked at
number.
you
Who did?
wrong.
Hello? Get out my business, Doc.
But not everybody can go to every level of the journey with you,
Yeah.
right? If you look at athletes, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, Simone Biles, pick your athlete. At every level, they got a different level of coach that could take them to the next level. Didn't mean the coach that they had was bad. All it meant was their level of expertise, their level of being able to inspire me, to encourage me, to motivate me, to mine out of me the things that I needed to get to the next level, that it had run its course. I needed a new person at another level to take me there. And so being willing to put people in the right place and to know when a season is over. And here's this. You may develop a friendship in a coaching or a champion level that the friendship lives on, but the assignment that they have is over.
Talk to me about the assignments.
Everybody has an assignment, whether we believe it or not. The best assignments are reciprocal, where there's reciprocity in those relationships, where it's not all give, give, give. I don't know about you, but I've had takers in my life that only showed up to
With no
get
regret.
what with no regret. And when, listen, and I was good for them as long as I was saying yes.
Yeah.
But as soon as I said no, they acted like I had never done anything for them ever in life. Like
You were the
all the
devil.
yeses.
The audacity of you to fix your mouth to tell me no.
The audacity. Yep, yep. And so if you don't manage that, you will put people in a place where they have a space and a feeling of entitlement that you owe them a yes, that you owe them space, that you owe them access. And
Right.
and really, honestly, you don't owe anybody anything but love,
Yeah.
to be honest. And so really figuring out who the right space people in the right spaces at the right time, because timing is important too,
It
right?
is.
Because there are certain seasons where you need a champion, not a coach. You've
Mm,
moved into a space where now you've honed your skill, you've practiced, you've put the time, you put the work in, you've done the therapy and the psychoanalysis, you've done the praying and all the things. Now you need somebody to open the door for you.
yeah.
You need somebody that has a voice in the room that you haven't stepped into yet, that can speak your name, validate you, pull out a chair and give you a seat at the table and tell everybody they're good. Let them in.
Absolutely.
And so you got to know the difference between those roles.
See, and that's important because now we don't want to do that for people because we feel like we're knocking ourselves out of a position. But you
Right.
weren't truly a leader unless you could lead someone else to where they can begin to lead. It's not about
Hmm.
losing footage, it's about gaining
Right.
grounds together. And we don't seem to grasp that and
It's
do
true.
well with that.
Yeah, we think that there's scarcity. We operate with a scarcity mindset, that there's only so much to go around. And so if I got my pile, then if you come along, you might be taking something from my pile. But the truth of the matter is, what's for me, and what's
Mhm.
for you is for you. And if I have a space that God has carved out in my life, nobody can take that away from me. And by the way, I can't get what's intended for you either,
Yeah.
right? But I think historically, particularly people of color, because life has been so challenging, sometimes we feel like if we're the one in the room, then we
Mhm.
need to be the only one in the room. So here, if you come, then that might dilute my power. It might dilute my influence. But the truth of the matter is, who I am is who I am. And when I step into a room, all the power, authority, experience, and whatever I've been created to be shows up fully. And it cannot take away anything from what you've been designed to do. But you
That's
got to be
true.
you got to be confident in that.
That's good. And once you own it, how is it that you know to stay humble? Because you walked into some rooms and developed some places and people and opportunities that even just reading off that resume is like beating, hey, I don't have to walk in the room and yell I'm King Kong, but just know I'm her. You know what I mean? And that's the God's honest truth. You're not lying about it. I mean, that is some spectacular. You don't just meet people every day to say they've done those things, that they were
It's
granted
true.
those opportunities, that they put in the work to
Right.
do it for 2 decades. Like you didn't just stumble upon that. You know what I
It's
mean?
true.
So
It's
to be able
true.
to do that and still have the heart to give back, that's a space of compassion. To leave the comforts of where you are to go help someone else to try to understand that,
Yeah.
that's off to you.
I didn't get there by myself though, which is what the book is all about. I had people that helped along the way. And listen, people will keep you humble. If you got the right people around you, you ain't got to worry about being big headed, because you'll have that one friend that be like, all right, girl, come on.
Listen,
Don't act like we wasn't in college together eating ramen noodles together. Don't play in my face. If you have the
right.
right people around you, which is why it's critical to have those comrades. those people who understand you, who get you, you know what I mean, who you can call up at any moment in time. And all you got friends where all you got to do is say girl, and the way you say girl when they
They
answer the phone,
understand.
they understand. You ain't even got to say no more because they get it. They
Yeah.
get you, and they can speak life into you, or they can speak encouragement to you, or they also know when it's not just venting, it's depression.
Yeah.
And you done slipped off a cliff, and they know they need to say, girl, come on, I'm gonna pick you up. We're gonna go on over to this hospital and talk to this doctor real quick and see what's really going on, or help you set up a therapy session. You gotta be open and honest enough. And for me, staying humble, all this stuff can be snatched from us in a nanosecond.
Yeah. People seem to forget that though.
They do, but then keep on living. And if
Yeah.
you're not humble, if you're not grateful, then what happens is sometimes is life will happen, because life be lifing, right?
Yeah.
And you'll look up, what's the statistic that says most people are one paycheck away,
Yeah,
right?
it's the truth.
From missing their
It's true.
mortgage, or missing their rent, or missing
From
their car
homelessness.
payment,
Yeah.
from homelessness. And so, for me, gratitude is so critical, to stay humble and stay grateful for what you've been afforded the opportunity to do. And yeah, I travel all over the world. I'm headed to Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, all the places the rest of this year. I
Be looking
also
for my
look at,
postcard. That's all I know. I'm gonna need my postcard.
listen, not the postcard. At some point, you need to go on and make sure your passport is ready and travel with me. Go to
Field
some of
trip,
these
I'm down.
places.
Yes,
Go to
ma'am.
some of these places and
Yeah.
see. Also, when you go to some of these places and you see how people live, right? I remember the first time I went to Africa, and went to the orphanages and went to some of the spaces. When I came back, I shopped different when I went to the
Mm,
grocery store, because I recognized the opulence. I recognized how much I really did possess. We throw away more food than most of these people eat in a month, right?
that's
or
deep.
or or my kids, oh, I don't want leftovers. Remember your parents growing up, kids in Africa are hungry and starving. You better
Yeah.
eat your food. The truth of the matter is, really, for many of us, we throw away and we skip over more stuff than half the world. We really are rich. Even when we think we don't have much, we really are rich. So I just try to stay as humble and grounded as I possibly can, because it really doesn't have to be. I don't have to be afforded these opportunities. You didn't have to have me on today, but you chose to be a champion in my life today and give me an opportunity to share.
And I was grateful that I was allotted the information to say I could possibly get this interview, because I've been trying to get this one for a while. And schedules, even today, the schedule was just trying to do the most.
Mhm.
And I said, well, listen, please, please, I don't want her to think I'm missing this one, because I wanted to have this. And this is a conversation that God knew I needed more than I knew
Mhm.
I needed it. Right.
Well, I'm
And
grateful.
so, even in the midst of all of the chaos, you need those
Mhm.
gentle reminders. You need that reflection. You need
Yeah.
that level of inspiration, people in real time in your life to say,
Hmm.
you're right where you're supposed to be. You're doing
Yeah.
what you're supposed to be doing. Because
Right.
it's easy to get sidetracked. It's
Yes,
easy
it is.
to get on these platforms and give people foolishness, but that's not helping anybody.
You're
You
right
know?
about it. Yeah.
So if we're not helping, we're hurting.
That part. That part. There's a quote that says, it was in a movie, and it was sitting on the wall, and it said, do your best to help everybody. And if you can't help them, at the very least, don't hurt them.
At the very least.
At the very least, don't hurt them. Right. But you said something a second ago that really, really ministered to me. This even our schedule today of trying to connect. When you look at things as an assignment, going back to that, right? This is not just, to me, it's not just, oh, I get to be on a platform, I get to be on a podcast. If it's set up, then I know that I have something also to give to you today. It's not just about me, and that goes back to that reciprocity, that I want to be an encouragement to you. I want to encourage you. I want to help you. I want to support you. I want to cheer up your day and make it better, and
Right.
and not just be entitled. And no, because it's never about that. There's a thing. And when you first came on, I'm like, she is so beautiful, look at this
Ah,
smile. I love
yes,
it. I love it. I love it. And so thank you again, just for the opportunity to even meet you, and hear you. And I got one question for you, if I can ask you.
you got
Who's been a
answers. What is it? What you saying?
who, who's been a champion in your life?
Oh, girl. It's several. My mom definitely always gonna be
Mhm.
top tier, you know. That's the safe space. That is the one
Mhm.
that will say it's okay even when it's not. Um,
Yeah.
will order me an extra Bible with some pretty little labels, just as a dose of inspiration because she see a child about to start flashing out. Let me go ahead and give her a new book, a journal or something. Let me calm her down. She know how to do it. She can recognize it before I know I'm about to spiral.
Yep. Yep.
And then I also have some friends that will say, I see what you're doing. How can we work on that together? How can we make that better? What can we do to push what you're doing further? And
That's good.
those conversations come and they never even look for the recognition of it. But just to see that people that you admire your work means a lot.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
does.
I hear you. It's interesting. I was just when I wrote the book, I wrote some little notes to some people to just say, as I'm thinking about these roles, cheerleaders, coaches, comrades, champions, I want to say thank you because you came up, in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit as it relates to the role that you've played. And if I haven't said it to you lately, I just want to let you know you're important to me and you've inspired me, you've encouraged me, or you've motivated me on days when I didn't have the fuel to do it myself. And reminding them how special and important they are in my life. Because I think that's also important for us to let people know when we care. Have you ever been to a funeral and wish you'd have had an opportunity to talk to the person one more time and just tell them how
Oh,
important they were to you? So I've
absolutely.
started this thing where I'm just trying to make sure I let everybody know in my life, you're important and you're special. And I need you to know that, and I need you to know it now.
Absolutely. You know
Mm.
what? Nelson, when he was setting up this interview from day one, when he mentioned you, he said, you're going to love her. I'm telling you, you're going to love her. She got this book. And even knowing that when people are saying that this would be a good guest because they know you'll see their heart, you recognize something in the work that they're doing and that is going to be a brandship. It's not just an interview, it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just to see what you're doing, I would love to get you here in the beautiful state of Louisiana. It's a field trip. I'll be your tour
Anytime.
guide.
Anytime. I'm more than happy to go. I travel all over the place, but I haven't been to Louisiana. I went to Essence Festival or something long time ago, but I
Okay.
haven't I haven't been on that side for probably 15 years. But
Yeah, well,
would
we got
love
to
would
get you
love to
back.
come.
And I'm
Would
talking
love to.
about soon. It's a conference when people can sit in a room together and just have these
Yeah.
open-ended conversations to say it and to say it out loud
Yeah.
and to have these resources and tools. Because I know you even have Hope's House International Ministries where you
Yep.
equip other entities to be better versions of themselves, to staff
Yes.
teams. How did that come about?
We were part of a church, one of them churches where the pastor is building his own kingdom. You know them churches where it's all
Hmm.
about them and it's narcissistic. And the church fell apart, and we felt like we had sat around for 17 years and wasted time. And God said, "No, I was teaching you how not to do people during
How
that
about
season." And so we started a Bible study, and before we knew it, we had like 150 kids coming, and they're the ones that pushed us to start church. We live in the suburbs of LA, and they're like, "We can't get to our churches. We're gonna come to your house and have church." And we were like, "That's ghetto. Don't be coming to our house." And they were like,
Pull
they
it up
did it
on
in
the
the
doorstep?
they're like, they did it in the Bible. They had churches and houses in the Bible. We like, oh, y'all been listening. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Uh-huh.
And so we started having church once a month. They went to every other week. And before long, we had 70 people in our living room. I was the preacher. My husband was the worship leader. And before long, we figured out we're a little slow. We like, maybe we need a building. You think we need a building? The first Sunday, 250 people showed up and said, "We've been waiting on y'all. What took you so long?" And that was in September. It'll be 23 years. We've planted 7 churches out of our church. They're not ours, they're fully theirs. Whatever flavor of Kool-Aid and how much ever sugar they want in it is theirs. We're just a resource. And so I believe in making sure that people are not just spiritually whole, but financially, mentally, relationally, emotionally. Because ain't nothing worse than a Christian is talking all the Christianese, all the mumbo jumbo, but their life is raggedy and trifling.
There you
And
go.
so we try to do it from a holistic perspective. There's a scripture that says, would that you be whole, mind, body, and soul. God's heart is that all of us is
Yeah.
right. And so we teach from let's make sure right now we're doing stewarding your whole life. People always talk about stewarding money. Let's steward your whole life.
Yeah.
How's your mind?
I'm glad you said that because we can give you the money, but that's only going to amplify the person you are, the person you aren't. Yeah,
Exactly.
you can always
Yes.
get it and bounce back, but what are you going to do with it once you get it?
Yep.
Does it
What are
control
you gonna
you in
do?
a good way or not so good way?
Right.
And we see it
Right.
all the time.
Yep. So that's our church. We Sunday morning we like 500 people. Really great community, great music, great preaching. Love, and everybody is welcome. We're not discriminating. Everybody is welcome to come in and just be transformed by love and by the word. It's real simple and easy for us. Not a whole lot of politicking and all of that hoopla. Just come in and let's let God work amongst us. Let's do the work together.
I'm glad you said that. Do you ever feel as if the pulpit is being too
Yep.
purchased by narratives? I think that is,
Yep. I didn't even
and
finish your
I'm gonna
sentence.
say that.
Yep.
I'm a preacher's kid. My grandfather
Are
was a
you?
pastor. I was raised in the house with him. Man taught me how to pray. You know what I mean? So
Amen.
that was his whole thing. Before I go to sleep, we would go over that Our Father's Prayer till I had it, and I would see
Mm-hmm.
him live the scripture versus just
Yeah.
quoting the scripture. So I know what that looks like, and I know how it
Yes.
feels, and I know the word, because that word will make you feel some type of way. If
Mm-hmm.
it hits you, and you'd be like, "What you want
Yes.
to call?" Either hit me or told me that's my business. So
Right.
I can't sit there and know exactly what preacher is going to say what, because I know what they don't want to expose in their own lives. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
these pulpits are becoming so friendly to where nobody is telling us the truth anymore.
It's true. It's true. I think one part of it is not the profit, it's for profit.
Mm,
We've moved into that era a little bit where, sometimes for pastors, it's a money-making deal, right? It's not about holiness, it's not about righteousness, even though scripture says follow peace and holiness with all men so that you can see God, right? That's still a thing. Holiness is still right.
she said it's still a
Walking in
thing.
listen, and walking in truth and speaking the truth in love is still God's commandments. I think for many people nowadays, they don't even go to church hardly anymore because there's been so much trauma, so much drama, so many people doing what they think is right in their own eyes, as opposed to doing what, just basically teaching what Jesus said. Right?
Right.
How do we treat each other? How do we walk in love? How do we live according to God's word?
There's
Um,
not enough love in the church.
it's just not. It's so worldly and so who's that and who's that? And let's not even get started on the celebrity churches. And I don't mind you being a celebrity, but when you come in here, there's one celebrity and his name is Jesus
That's
in my
it.
church. He's the only one that
Him and his daddy. That's
him,
all. Him and his daddy.
okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we're moving into an era, I think, where the younger generation now,
Yeah.
they're looking for authenticity. They looking for the real, and they can spot fake stuff real quick. This new generation coming up, they know when you faking the funk. And so a lot of
Because they're
churches are starting to
hurting and
die.
they're looking for something
Yes,
other than what the streets are giving them.
they're
And if
looking
they
for
can't
truth.
tell the difference between the streets and the church, they say, "Why am I even going over here?"
What's the difference? What's the difference? Yeah. So we're trying. We're not the only ones. People start to, we the only church. Nope. There's plenty of good pastors out there who are
Yeah.
really shepherding people, who are really teaching the truth, who are living in and amongst the people. We don't have at my church, we don't have the pastors and then the rest of the peons, the rest of you. No, we are
Not the rest of you.
it's level at the foot of the cross.
Yeah.
All of us have sinned and come short of the glory of God. My job is pastor, but I'm no more valuable than anybody else that walks through my door. I just have a different calling. And so elevating and drawing the best out of people is what we're called to do.
Absolutely. And I'm excited because I know as you're spreading the word and giving everybody everything they need from inspiration to direction, this new book, and I'm ordering my copy today. Where can we get it?
Thank you.
Cheerleaders, coaches, comrades, champions, building the team that builds you. And when my book gets here, I need it autographed or I'm sending it right back.
All right, please do. And if you get to Edna or my publicist, I will send you a copy that's signed. How about that? As opposed to you
Perfection.
purchasing, I'll make sure I get you one. But you can it can be found on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, every platform where books can be purchased. You can also get it from me. My Instagram is Dr. P underscore Dre. That stands for Dr. Pastor Dre. I earned that doctorate. I earned it. I'm not the
It's more
original
than a
doctor.
hashtag.
Listen, I'm not the original Dr. Dre, but I'm for sure the authentic one. I spent many nights and days writing that doggone thesis.
I know.
So IG is Dr. P underscore Dre. My Facebook is Andrea Humphrey. My maiden name is in there, and I'm also on TikTok with Dr. P Dre #3. You can reach conferences, retreats, corporate events, I'm available to come do training for your team. I can do one-on-one coaching, but I'm here to help. This is what my life is now. My kids are grown, and all I'm doing is sharing and helping people be the best version of themselves.
And we appreciate you for answering the call and being the vessel that you are. And I want you to
Thank
think
you.
of this as the extension of your office. So whenever you have
Thank you.
anything going on, you feel free to jump in the hot seat
Oh,
on the tan line and you consider it done. You heard me?
thank you. I really appreciate it. Blessings to you and yours. I'll be praying for you and all that pertains to you.
Likewise. I know
Mhm.
you have more work to do. So I'm gonna let you
I
chase the
do.
sun or let the sun chase you. But either
Thank
way,
you,
get
baby.
after it, Doc. I love you. And there's
Thank you.
absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you. Blessings to you. And I'm honored. Thanks again. All right. Bye-bye.
Perfect.